What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if it's your first time here. You can see I am shooting this video here today in my basement garage, and that's because it's pouring the rain outside right now. We went from the temperatures in the lower teens here just a couple of days ago and snow on the ground to now pouring the rain, and next week they're forecasting the temperatures to be in the upper 50s. So extreme weather changes and temperature changes over the last week or the last 7 days. But anyways, guys, I was thinking last night about an article that I read years ago, probably 25 years ago, 25 years ago, in Kurt Saxton's old Survivor newsletter. And he put out a paper newsletter every few months, and that newsletter would come out. And it was called The Survivor. But anyway, he was talking in an article he wrote in that newsletter about you can't change the channel. That was the title of the article. And I was thinking about that last night. And it's even more pertinent today than what it was when he wrote the article then. Because now, people have so many different things keep them occupied. And if they don't like, what they see, they'll just turn the channel. They have their cell phones in their face all the time. They have social media. They have video games. They have the virtual reality goggle systems, whatever those are called. And now they have, Zuckerberg's metaverse that are putting in place. And it's until then what else that they got in place. Some people think we are living in a simulation right now. I don't think so, but who knows what the actual reality actually is. But in his article, he was talking about hard times and that people didn't want to think about the hard times and that they would just change the channel. If it wasn't what they wanted to see, they would just change the channel. But unfortunately, even if your mind isn't focused on the actual reality and your eyes aren't seeing the actual reality of what's going on in the world, that doesn't mean that it isn't happening. You can stay with your face in your cell phone. You can stay on Facebook, on Twitter, and looking at the tweets and the memes and things posted on there. You can stay in front of your television set, watching your 150 channels that is available, all your sports channels and everything, all the television shows you like to watch, to escape reality. You can play those video games. If you don't like that video game you're playing, you can just change the video game to something you do like. And it keeps people's minds off of what's actually going on. But unfortunately, most people are in that state of mind. They're completely preoccupied with that technology and not paying attention to what's going on around them. I've talked to a lot of people over the years that take pride in not knowing what's going on, not keeping up with current events. And they will take pride in telling you that they don't care about what's going on, that they avoid, watching the news. And they're probably better off to avoid watching CNN or MSNBC, but they need to know what's actually going on and do actual research on their own to find out, the reality, that way they can prepare for that reality. But unfortunately, most people won't do that. People have kept their mind in this fantasy world, in this virtual reality world, and not seen things for what they actually are, and have not taken that time they had available to prepare. However, when it comes to the point that there's no denying it, that is right in their face, they'll have to accept, that reality. And by then, it's going to be too late to change the channel. It's going to be impossible to change the channel because reality has bit them right in the eye, as the saying goes. And they aren't prepared, and there's no way of getting prepared. They're going to panic. They're going to become desperate. They're going to get violent. They're going to resort to crime, theft, prostitution, drug manufacturing. You have that right now. That's going to get a whole lot worse as the economy gets worse and worse. If you look at any country that the economy's collapsed, crime goes up, prostitution goes up, drug use goes up, drug manufacturing goes up, home invasion goes up, rioting and looting, violence, just random violence, everything escalates because people are desperate to survive, and many won't. And those people who've been changing the channel for years now and avoiding facing reality are going to panic, and they're going to become, the unprepared zombies that are going to be the most dangerous thing they have to try to deal with. And I wish that people would face reality. I know it's difficult to face reality, and I'm preaching to the choir here on this channel because you all are preppers. However, I'm sure that most people you know aren't prepping. Most people you know are completely and willfully oblivious to what's actually going on in the world around them right now. And they don't want to know. Like I said, they take pride in not knowing because they want to face that reality. And when it happens, they're going to be like, what happened? They're going to panic. They're going to get violent. There's no easy answers because it's almost impossible to wake these people up and get those people to actually do anything because they refuse and are actually hostile to even the concept and the thought of being a prepper. I talk to people all the time, and those people are like, I don't pay attention to that. I don't care what goes on in politics. It's not all about politics. It's not all about Republican and Democrat. It's about the world collapsing. It's about the world falling under, a technocratic dictatorship modeled on communist China. And people refuse to accept that fact. People refuse to acknowledge that fact, and they refuse to prepare. And instead, they want to keep their face in their cell phones, in their television, in their sporting events. I watch the UFC fights myself, but I don't watch that constantly. I'm not watching television constantly. I keep up with what's actually going on in the world. I don't own a video game system at all. And a lot of adults, play video games. That's their world. So to getting out and doing something useful as an adult, and you can see a kid doing that maybe, but you get to be an adult, you need to put away those childish things and do something constructive. But instead they play those video games, have those virtual reality goggles on, stay on that game system all the time, stay on that cell phone all the time, stay in front of the television because they want to escape reality. Unfortunately, reality is still there, and it's going to come back and bite them in the ass. They're going to panic, they're going to get violent. But guys, you can't change reality by changing the channel. You can get up, you can change the channel on your television, you can use your remote to change it with. Now, when I was a kid, we had to get up and actually change that physically. Now, you don't have to even get up, you can just sit there and press the button and have those 150 channels to go through and find something that you actually like. However, reality is still there, reality is still happening, the economy is still collapsing, lots and lots of other bad things are also happening right now. You can sit there all you want to and change that channel. Reality is still out there, and reality is going to catch up with everyone sooner or later, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up, really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Creekmore Mighty here, and I'll see you all in the next video, hopefully.